Uh, Hello everyone. Am I audible? Am I audible to everyone? Dilpreet ma'am, can you hear me? Uh, Sanjeev sir, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, good morning everyone. And today I'm going to welcome you all to the third day of faculty upskilling program on cyber terrorism and defense. For this first session, we have Dr. Sanjeev Sofat with us. So, on behalf of everyone, I welcome you, sir. So
Thank.
a little bit about Sanjeev sir. Sanjeev sir is working as a professor in CSC department at Peck University of Technology. His various diverse research interests include information security, computer vision, image processing, social media analytics, so on and so forth. He has published various research papers in different journals and conferences as well, working on a lot of projects, including specialization in advanced facility in biometric sensor technologies, state of art advanced decryption uh, facility, design and development of dependable, secure and efficient protocols for wireless mesh networks, so on and so forth. Now, on behalf of everyone, I'm going to welcome Sanjeev sir. So, Sanjeev sir, you can take the stage right now, and I would hand over to you.
Oh, thank you so much. No, as he says, it's a session on a social media security there. How exactly we can think about securing our social media. So, what I would like to have is some sort of an interactive session whereby we can discuss these things with you. What I suggest is, okay, first of all, let's start with, okay, in case all of you who are present here, they in their chat window, they can just say from where, what is their background, from which place they are, so that I get to know how exactly I have to pitch my session here. Maybe quickly, all of you just put it in your chat window, from which place, which institute, and what is your specialization, what is the interest in this particular course you have got here. Yes, all the participants, please do it quickly. Idea is we want an interactive session here where we can interact with all of you. No, do have you allowed them to chat in the group? Because in case I wanted to have the messages from them, can I have it? Or you not permitted? Because they say chat in channel meeting is only available to team members. Who are the team members in this case?
All right, sir. I'll check. Just give me a second.
Because I couldn't get any response from anyone. And then can they unmute themselves?
Yes, sir. Everyone is having mic permission as well as chat permission also.
But why not getting any message from them?
Sir, I guess. They just joined recently. Okay, Dilpreet ma'am is here.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Oh, good morning, Dilpreet. How are you?
I'm also good, sir. How are you?
I'm just trying to
Yeah.
connect with the participants. I just want all of them to send a message there here, okay, from which the institute they are and from what is their background.
Sure.
But we are
So,
not able to have any message. Are they connected or not?
yes, sir, they are connected and they have the rights. I'll just tell them once again. Dear participants, I please request all of you to please drop a message in the chat box from which institute you are and what is your area of research. It would be great if you will reply in the chat box, or even you can unmute yourself and you can speak as well if you feel like. So
Because in
please.
chat channel, it says chat channel meeting is only available to team members. Even to me also it's not available.
I'll change the permissions maybe.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think there is some issue with your permissions.
Okay. Yeah. So now is it available to you? Are you able to?
Nahin, it's not.
Just a second. I'm saving the settings. Changed it. I've allowed the reactions. Now is it visible, sir? Are you
Nahin.
able?
Because all other icons are visible. It's the chat which is not.
Ma'am, actually, chat space is visible to me, but I guess it is not possible.
I'll just see because I have given rights to each and every faculty. I mean the participants. They were messaging earlier also.
But I'm not getting any message from anyone. Are you getting any message from any participant?
Yes, first I posted myself, then Yashika ma'am is also wishing good morning to everyone over here. So,
Nahin, I'm not getting all these messages.
okay, sir, okay. We'll just check.
So just give me a minute. I'm just changing the settings. Maybe then it will be visible. Sir, they are replying in the chat box.
But
I
I'm
guess
not getting any message.
because I guess Yashika has also replied to your message that I'm from Shimla. Currently, I'm working as assistant professor in Chandigarh University. Dear participants, can you please unmute yourself one by one and can you
Hey,
speak?
is it possible I just leave the meeting and rejoin? Maybe
Maybe yes, sir.
let
Maybe
me try that.
then you will be able to. Yes. Dear participants, I please request all of you to type in the chat box like, your area of interest and you from which university you belong. Am I audible to all of you? Can you please reply in the chat box? Or even by unmuting yourself, you can reply to sir's questions. That would be great. Yes, sir has also not joined yet. Sir has not joined yet. So now is it visible to you?
It's not visible.
Not visible chat box.
Because what the moment I go to the chat, now it says chat in channel media only available to the team members.
Wait.
Have you said made some team member setting there?
No, sir, I have not made any team member settings, but I have changed the settings as well. Just, I'll just see the device settings.
Because they, in case there are certain doubts, if they would like to rake up some issues, then how they will be able to talk to me.
Sir,
That's the issue.
they can unmute themselves. They can raise their hands and then they can unmute themselves and then they can speak.
Okay, that's the way you would like.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I have set the permissions.
Okay, that's fine.
In the meanwhile, I would request the participants, like sir has asked for your profile, like from which university you are and what is your area of interest. So I request few participants to please unmute themselves and then they can give their introduction to Dr. Sanjeev Sofat. That would be great. In the meanwhile, I'll just check what is the issue with the chat box.
Sure.
Bye.
Yes, some of you can unmute. Let me know your name so that while talking, I can call you. Because
Good
over
morning,
here,
sir.
good mornings.
This is Razia, sir, from Telangana.
Okay,
I'm a research scholar under KL.
you're working in which area?
Machine deep learning, sir.
Okay, deep learning, but not with the security, cyber security, other thing, right? Okay, that's fine.
उनको भी नहीं अच्छे लग रहे हैं सच्चे लग रहे हैं अतुल लग मामा जी ने दिए होंगे दो
Maybe you can mute yourself. Then next one. Anyone who because I don't want to have a monologuous talk for 1.5 hour where I can't talk to you also in between for your doubts and other things.
Can I also pitch in, sir?
Huh?
Can I
Yeah,
also
yeah,
pitch
sure,
in?
sure. You're most welcome.
Right. Okay, sir. So I hail from Delhi. I'm currently working as an assistant professor in Chandigarh University itself. Though my area of interest are in machine learning, deep learning, neural networks, so on and so forth, but I'm very keen in trying to learn in new ways. I am very intrigued with the things that are related to security. So that is the main purpose that I'm here for this faculty upskilling program so that I can get started with some of the security terminologies itself. Thank you so
Sure.
much.
That will give me some idea where I have to pitch my lecture.
Yes, sir.
Dilpreet we know fairly well. Then who else?
Yashika, it would be great if you can unmute yourself and you can speak. Manisha, Yashika.
Because to me it is showing A, B, M, A, B, N, M.
Actually, ma'am, Yashika ma'am's mic is not working properly with the system. So if it is fine, she can pitch in from my system itself.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, all right, all right. I'll hand over to her.
Very good morning, sir.
Yes, very good
Morning.
morning, sir. Very good morning, sir.
I am
Actually,
Dr.
I
Vasan
was,
from Muscat.
From Muscat. Okay.
Yeah. Currently, I have been teaching in cybersecurity department, and it is having a tie-up with University of Missouri, St. Louis, USA, and
Uh-huh.
Franklin University, USA. We
Okay.
have started some bachelor and master degree program in information security, and I
Uh-huh.
believe this session is going to be a milestone for them also, because they are also very keen. They are also watching all the things. So one day I feel we are going to have or even tie up with the university, Chandigarh University, and we are working for that.
Okay, that's
So
great.
yeah, so I hope this is going
So
to be a
presently
good
you are in
platform
Muscat
for them.
only.
Okay.
Okay. Which is the university you are there with?
University of Missouri, St. Louis, USA.
Okay, St. Louis. Okay. That's great. Thanks for joining us. Who else? I hope because my idea of knowing is I hope the participants are there. Who is with the name DN? Yes,
Good
anyone
morning, sir.
else who like to?
Yeah,
Yes, good morning.
good morning, sir. Myself, Rajeshwari. I'm Telangana, Osmania University.
Okay.
My area is image processing. But just I learn new technology. That way I'm here, sir.
Okay. You would like to learn security from scratch. That's all I can
Yeah,
take.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
that's
sir.
good.
Okay, okay.
So there
So,
was one chat box message as well from Yashika ma'am itself. She's a colleague of mine in Chandigarh University as well. Her area of specialization is networking, and she's
okay.
from Shimla.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's the from your Shimla. Come. Right. Anyone else who would like to introduce himself or tell me his specialization? Because what I could gather from 3 or 4 people who had told me their backgrounds is okay, it has to be some generic talk which I have to give uh, because people are from diversified fields. So that's how we should plan up, right? Okay, how many of you are on the social media? Because obviously that's a very lame question. But yes, I would like to know what are the media you use in the social media there? What are the platform you use?
I am on Facebook, but I hardly use it.
You don't
So
use it,
since
okay?
since started working, now I'm more interested in exploring things rather than just be on social media. So
Hmm.
yeah, I when I was in the age, I used to go through it, but now I feel like that it kills a lot of time. So yeah, my accounts are there, but I am not spending much time onto it.
Not spending much time there. How about others? Yeah, you have to speak out. Only then I'll get to know I'm talking to people. I'm not talking to my terminal. Maybe Professor from Muscat, he can tell us. I'm not
Yeah,
audible.
hello.
There's some issue. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible, fairly audible.
Yeah. Like especially as a faculty, we are focusing more time on LinkedIn,
Hmm.
and obviously the Facebook and the YouTube channels are also going to be used to telecast our programs and the training materials and all the things.
Okay, my
But
next question to you, how do you feel, how do you secure yourself as far as Facebook is concerned?
definitely Facebook is not only Facebook, all social
Our
medias are
social media,
vulnerable.
they're misused. Let's say, how
Yeah,
do you secure
they
yourself?
could be misused at greater extent, no doubt on that. Yesterday, I was attending one session and one speaker was talking about that,
Hmm.
what are vulnerable and what are the mitigation techniques.
Hmm.
But Definitely, one day the time will come. Even we will also get a chance to share our views uh, on this. But
Right.
definitely, as a matter of the fact, the social media definitely it is not secure at this time.
Yeah, not
It's not
secured at this time. It is being misused.
Yeah,
Because why it is being misused is we are novice in that. Because we are not the ones who go to our security to that extent where
correct.
we face this sort of problem. Okay, then another thing. Let's say you go for your pic. Let's say you capture few picture with your friends. All of them are having it, right?
Yeah,
Now let's say all of you load it. You may be securing yourself fairly well, but how about the other fellow?
yeah, that is true.
That's another issue which is there. It is a issue of a security. So social media is for networking there. Now let's say you click your picture with 10 people. You are trying to be very secured. So how do you ensure the other fellow will also go for the security which you kept there? That means in spite of the fact you may be keeping yourself very secured, still there can be some misuse of your picture because he may not take it from your side, he may take it from somebody else's side also.
Definitely.
Right. So this is what we say. Social media, it's not an individual security which we have to think of. We have to think of a collective security there. It's
Correct.
like you might have seen in societies, we keep guards. These guards are not for your own security, but it's for the security of the whole society as it is. So we have to think
Def-
about how exactly we can think about securing our society, not as an individual there, right?
Correct.
I hope you can appreciate this concern.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
All right. Anyone else who would like to share? Dilpreet, you tell me how can we talk to people around? Because I don't want to give a monologuous talk. But to my mind, there are around 33 attendees. Okay. Is Amit there? Or Basant? Or Sandhya Rani? Anyone who is there? Jain Singh? Okay. Mr. Ramesh Kumar. Anyone with whom we can talk to? Or Razia Begum? Or Sonia? I think there are so many names which are called. Or Yashika?
Sir, actually, ma'am's mic is not working, so
Okay, okay, that's fine. That's sure. Okay, Ramya Devi. They're all participants who are there but don't want to talk. How do we talk to them? Okay, let me start with the session for some time. Let's see the response.
yes, sir.
I hope my screen is visible.
So we are just waiting on it.
Hmm?
Yes, sir, your screen is visible. Social network security.
Social network security. Okay, that's great. Okay, we'll talk about the social network security here. And this is my outline of a talk. Okay, we'll discuss about what social network services are and what are the major security issues and challenges which are there and what sort of security threats are there. Maybe as I was discussing, it can be your multimedia contents there. It can be some traditional threats which are there. They are true in case of our social networks also. And then there are some certain social threats which are there. Then there is, we talk about what sort of solutions are there in this sort of environment there. And how do security responses are there for the SNS users there. Then I have built up some case studies there, whereby we talk about what sort of threats can be there in the name of Facebook, Twitter, or all these accounts there. So what do we mean by social network is, it's basically some virtual connection which we establish between people who have got a similar interest, maybe background and activities. There are some activities which we wanted to do together. There are certain background which are there. Let's say I would like to make a group of people who all are engineers. Then maybe there may be another one who would like to make a group of people who are all computer science engineers. Or there may be other who will say, okay, let me make a group which is of all the people who are there in the security framework. So this is what we have got. A social network is a web service which is there. Through this particular web service, what we do, we establish a connection. Okay, then it is based on the interests also. Let's say they all people are musicians there. All people are academicians there. So there is common interest which are there. And there will be some activities there, because basically what we are trying to do is, sitting at my own place, I should be able to perform some of these sort of activities there. And then you might have seen in Facebook, you can find your friends, you can find a friend of a friend. So that's what SNS allows you to use it to find new friends and expand the circle of the friends there. Okay, we can think about how exactly this sort of a friend circle can be increased based on your interest and sharing. Then what is the feature? What exactly we do in case of a social networks there? Okay, we are sharing some sort of a data there. What can be the type of the data? It can be some text which we say. Okay, let's say in the morning WhatsApp, we say good morning everyone. So that means I would like to share my feelings about my good morning to all the people who are around there. And what sort of, then maybe I got certain pictures there. I clicked the picture. It's a nice picture. I like to share with my friends. You share. Then you will like also, then your interest is, you would like to see the response also. अरे मेरा picture आपको कैसा लगा? Was it a good? Was it a bad picture? So then you start looking for your likes. Who are the people who are liking your picture? Let's say you post your picture to 100 people. Then in 50 people, out of that 25 people say, ah, this is a great picture. You feel elated. So this is another feature of this SNS, because presently there used to be physical sharing with each other. Now it's the virtual sharing which is happening these days. How do we share? We share in terms of messages, we share in terms of videos, we share in terms of photos, or some of the activities which we are performing. So on, there's so many things which people are doing. Now, if you look at these days, Twitter and Facebook, they're the one of the good medias with billions of users are there. It's all online users who are there in this sort of a scenario there. Okay, they're the ones who are communicating. And usually we say it's a very useful. If I can't go to someone, at least I can see that fellow. You might have seen people calling on a WhatsApp calling to somebody sitting in Canada. That fellow can't go to Canada there, but yes, he can talk to him, see his picture, see his video there. So this is what we say, it crosses the geographical borders, shrinks economies. Maybe you got your all mechanism through which you can share. So this is what we say, it's a geographical border, it is reducing and it is beneficial for all of us. Then another, now professionally people are using this social network services. We might have seen, those of you who are there on this, these days most of the jobs which are being circulated, they are being put up based on the, what we say, the LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn is one media where all the jobs are there. So that's what we do. In case I'm to look for a job, I don't look for a paper, I don't look for anything. I start looking for jobs on the LinkedIn only. You'll find hundreds of jobs there. Then your entertainment. Somebody sends you a video, you can enjoy that video. Or somebody has uploaded a session, just like Chandigarh University was saying, all their session, they will upload it on YouTube. So that means today, if you are not able to listen to me, tomorrow sitting somewhere through your YouTube, you can listen to me. So this is what we say, the social network services there. Maybe your Facebook, Twitter, all these things, they're being covered up with this sort of options there. Now this is what we say is the constituents of the online social network. We have got a social network. What for we are using it? We are using it for entertainment. We are using it for the social skills. We are using it for the career. We are using it for the relationship. We are using it for the business. I can build up a very good relationship using the social media only, but I can misuse it also. I can find out a business opportunity there. Somebody posts, I'm doing this. I'm looking at one person for 6 months to do this particular part for me. These are a very common posts which people are doing. And there are a lot of response there. And online people work and show it. So this is what we say, business opportunity which are there in this sort of environment there. Career, I will talk to you about. People these days are finding jobs on a Facebook, on a LinkedIn, or on the, because what most of the people are doing is, in case they're looking for someone, they post it on the LinkedIn. And there will be some who get connected, give their profile and say, okay, this is suitable for me. Or if you look at LinkedIn, people post their profiles also. Then it is for the entertainment also. Okay, in case I would like to entertain myself, I make use of this sort of option there. Or your social skill, in case you would like to increase your social skill, you can use it for that particular path also. Now, once it is doing so much for us, obviously it is becoming a threat for us also. Okay, that's what we say, the SNL threats there. Now, if you look at on this Facebook, on your WhatsApp, on your Twitter, there's a lot of personal data which goes over there. I may be posting my data for some specific purposes, but it is being misused. It becomes a target for the attackers there. So this is where a biggest threat is, how to protect my personal data there. Now, then in case your social media is for good people, it's equally there for the bad people also. Maybe there can be attackers. They can take away your sensitive personal data by using this SNS, and they can carry some sort of attacks on you. Maybe they spam you, malware you, social bots your identity is theft. Okay, on the Facebook, somebody can act on my behalf and start interacting with the people around. Now, then another significant thing they can do is they can get this bank account information also. Okay, attacker, they can also find other significant data, maybe your bank account information. What they do is by analyzing this user personal data, they can commit this sort of internet crimes such as the bank fraud there. Okay, all sort of a bank fraud, all sort of internet crime can be committed by this only. Because we share lot of things on my WhatsApp. Let's say some people, they share their bank account information on the WhatsApp with their own group. But in this process, attacker can take away the tweet or message which you send. So this is what we say is the essential threats which are there for your personal data, which is available on the social media network there. So these are some of the challenges which are there as far as the SNS security issues and challenges are concerned. We have got internet threats. Since on the internet, people share a huge amount of data on the SNS, okay, it can lead to the identity theft, spamming, phishing, online predator, internet fraud, and other cyber criminal attacks there. Whatever attacks we used to talk about on your network, whatever attacks we talk about on node, similar attacks can be there on your portals also. So this is one of the threat which is there. Maybe just like Facebook, that provides you gaming applications. But in this particular process, they are trying to steal your data also. Now let's say you have got a games. Then in that case, somebody requires your user credit card details, personal information, your phone number, email ID for completing the registration process. Let's say you're registering for a particular game, but in this process, your registration information can go as a threat for you. So this is another threat which is there as far as this sort of systems are concerned. Now, the moment I give my identity, telephone number and the credit card details, I'm there for the identity theft. मेरा जो identity है, somebody can steal that particular identity there, and they can do phishing. Maybe in this process, they can damage your reputation also. Let's say you have put up a data for certain objectives, but your reputation can be in for trouble in case somebody is able to damage your reputation in this particular processes. Okay, you give your number, phone number, it is being misused. Let's say your number is there, maybe it's attached to some pornography site there. Then all these calls will receive. What has happened in this process? Your identity has been stolen by someone, which was your telephone number, and is being misused. Or your credit card details, because these days bank says don't put up your credit card details on the WhatsApp or on the. Why do they say this? Because all this information can go as a misuse for you. Now then there are certain reputation and credibility issues there. Let's say you are there in a community because you would like to have your credibility as far as the community is concerned. But in case this particular thing is misused, then you're getting exposed to a group of people unnecessarily there. Now another thing is, not only text, it is being used to view videos and images there. And just like Facebook, there can be an example where a friend and a friend of yours can misuse it. Maybe you have to unmute yourself or mute yourself.
Apologies for the inconvenience, sir. Sir has muted themselves.
Okay, thank you. Now then your credibility as such is lost in this particular process there. In real life, let's say your image with their phone number is put up as a people for the ransom attacks, people for the other type of attacks there. Then the whole of your credibility goes that you are the one who are doing this sort of things there. So this is another issue which is there as far as your reputation is concerned. Maybe it can damage the reputation of business also. Let's say somebody start putting up the information about your business interest, which can be damaged there. Because these days, most of the businesses which are being flourishing or getting damaged are due to the social media there. Because what the people do is on a social media, they go for a advertising thing there. Now, that's how the whole of the business community is working in this sort of environment there. Then you're profiling. Okay, there is a variety of third-party resources which are gathered by various companies. Let's say what these days companies are doing is some information about you, they take it from one social media network. Other information, they get it from some other social network. In this process, they create your profile. And why they are creating this sort of profile? In case by creating this sort of profile, they can send you some product. Let's say from one side, I got to know you earn this much. On the other side, they got to know your interests are this. And on the other side, they get this information that in the last 1 month, you spend a lot of money. That means all this data combined together can give a profiling of someone there. That means it can profile you. You're the one who are getting very good salary and you're a spendthrift and you spend a whole of your money in electronics goods. Let's say 3-4 sites. With the help of 3-4 sites, I gather this information. I create your profile. Now this profile which has been created can be misused. Let's say somebody has to do telemarketing. They can sell this sort of products to this sort of individuals there. And then individual behavior recording can also be done in this particular process there. In case I have to sell this product, I can do this sort of branding there. Now, how this thing should have been done ideally? I must take your permission before taking your data. This is a defined norm, but this is not being followed by most of the companies there. Now that's why there are a lot of restrictions which are being built up by this particular sites there. But this is what is happening. Okay, without individual permission, one is able to profile. Now, that means, for example, a user information may vend it to a government authority. This is another thing. Okay, in fact, government also takes up this, law enforcement agency also takes up this data. Let's say in the earlier days, most of this Facebook or a social media things which were there, their servers were there in the third country. Let's say most of the servers are in the US. So law enforcement agencies of that particular country comes into the picture. And on the name of security, they take away all the data. So in case my authority takes away all of the data, then what should I do? So this is another issue which is there. Okay, I gave the data in India, but data was stored in US. US government on the name of a security took away the data. So this is another challenge which is there in this sort of a scenario there. Okay, a lot of a data of yours go as a waste in this sort of a situation there. And this collected information may influence the users, because it can contain a lot of your private data, which in your own wisdom would not like to share with anyone. But since this is his or her daily preferences, so that's why this is, let's say your health information data. Let's say I put to my friend, oh, I'm not feeling well, I'm down with this, I'm down with that, I'm down with that. Now, let's say somebody crawls that data and make your profile. Okay, he was down with fever 3 months back. He was down with some heart problem 2 months back. Like this, he profiles you. And then this profile goes to employer. He gets to know, oh, you are the ones most of the time you are sick. Let me not take you. But did you want your this sort of information to go to somebody else? No. But this is another challenge, security challenge which is there. My information which I put it on the social media site is being misused in this sort of a scenario there. So these are somewhat what we see. This is a very important slide. Okay, classification of essence security threats which are there. Okay, we have got a multimedia content threat, we got traditional threats, and we got a social threats there. Maybe multimedia is you have got video, audio, and the text data there. So that can be the biggest threat, because multimedia, I can have my text, I can encrypt, but if I got my picture is as it is, video is as it is. I'll not go for any encryption upon that. So this is biggest threat, your multimedia content exposure. Then it's a shared ownership. I was talking to you, in case 10 people are having the picture and one of them is with weak security, then how do we take care of that? Do I got a control upon the other as far as security is concerned? No. So that's why your shared ownership is the biggest threat there. Then manipulation of multimedia content is slightly easy as compared to the text content. Let's say we have got an image editor. I can do a lot of cut and paste there. Let's say on somebody's body, I can put somebody's head there, take a picture, expose him. So then you got a metadata there. Metadata is a huge data which is there. That can also be a threat. Or your shared links. You give the links, and from the link it goes to the multimedia there. There can be also some sort of a exposure which can be happen in this sort of a scenario there. Then your static links. Maybe you define some static link, it's being misused. Then another issue is your clouds. Let's say whole of your data, it doesn't get stored on your mobile on your system. It gets stored on a cloud or it gets stored in a data center. Now, if my data center is not very transparent as far as storage and other thing is concerned, then it becomes a threat for me. Let's say I delete a picture, but your data center might have kept a lot of backups for him. Easy deleting from all the backups. So this is where your transparency of the data center comes. Okay, let's say I got a policy, after every 3 months I will delete my picture. I delete it from my system, but it doesn't get deleted from the data center. How will I show it has been deleted in the data center also? Or it is not kept a backup of that. So this is where major issues comes over there. Then your video conferences. In video conferences, just like I'm talking, we just anticipate there are 30 odd people there who are sitting in this particular session there. But in case there are some intruder entered into this particular session, so that is an issue which is there in this sort of a situation there. Okay, some video conferencing, somebody may steal this sort of a data there. Maybe you got an unauthorized data disclosure. Okay, there can be a chance somebody may disclose some data who is not authorized to disclose it, he discloses it. In good faith, you send some personal message to someone, he could put it a public message there. So this is what we say is a multimedia content threat, which is the biggest security threat as well as the SNS is concerned. Then we got traditional threats. What is a traditional threat? Maybe you got a phishing, malwares, sky bills, or spamming, or clickjacking, de-anonymization attack. De-anonymization attack is one of the attack which is there as far as most of the systems are concerned. What people say is, in case my information to be shared, it should be shared in the way that my identity is not lost in this particular process there. But in case it is not anonymized properly, it can be this sort of attack there. Then there is an inferential attack. Somebody may infer some data out of that, because let's say there are data coming from 100 places. Some may, in case I get all the data, I can infer, I can draw my inference. He is the one who is not stable with his job, because I could see from his social network there, 2 years he worked at one place, 1 month he worked at another place, 2 months he worked at some other place. Like this, he keep on changing his jobs. So this is what we say is the inference attack which is there. Then we got a profile cloning attacks. Okay, whatever your profile is, somebody may clone that particular profile there. Now these are what we say the traditional threats. Then there are social threats also. Somebody will start cyberbullying you. Whatever sites you visit, he also start visiting their sites. And somebody on the social media start grooming someone. Let's say somebody start chatting with the young girl. So that is what we say is the cyberbullying and the grooming there. Or we can have a corporate abstinence. In a corporate, there can be fraud committed due with this particular social media only. And then we got a cyber stalking there. Maybe let me have some questions from here onwards. Can I have some questions? You can unmute and you can read your questions.
Sir, I would like to put in the first question. Yeah, sir, the main thing that was fascinating towards me is I kind of studied security for the first time, to be very honest, and it your introduction towards everything was pretty good, as well as your real world examples were good. I wanted to know about video conference, since we are in the new normal and we are going about online world nowadays. So how can we take care of things that are with respect to video conferencing and the things that are happening with respect to online world nowadays, especially educational institutions, because there might be a lot of risk involved into it as well, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, because what happens is in case of a video conferencing, the usual attack is the man in the middle attack. What happens is, let's say we are having a very critical video conferencing there. In case somebody barges into your room, then start stealing the communication which is taking place over there. This is the biggest threat which is there. And again, this is what is happening in most of the institute there. Somebody will barge into your room there, which is a video room, and then starting disturbing the conference there. Let's say you are having in the conference there, but in between there may be somebody who enters into your conference, just like you're having the class. You're having a class of 120 students. One of the student who is not a part of your class, he enters into that particular class there and start disturbing you. So that can be the biggest threat as far as the video conferencing is concerned. So how do we protect it? Maybe what we can do is you just go for the strict authorization there. In case I know this class is meant for these particular people who are having these credentials, verify their credentials and then allow. And then another thing you can do is, while in the video conferencing you're doing, in case with the one credential, you allow only one person. Because what is happening these days is in the classes, what happens is, let's say I send link to my students. In case that student share the link with somebody else, then maybe with the same link there were 20 other odd people who will enter to this particular thing there. So what we have to do is, can I think about this? Okay, only if I got a link, I send the link, I bind this particular link with the person there. So that means in case I bind it with the person, then only one person can log in through that particular link there. But yes, I can't be the one who will be not sharing my content with the world around. Then there are things, okay, along with this video conferencing, you link it with the YouTube, you link it with the WhatsApp groups, so that they can be the one who can be the silent listener for your talk. So this is what we have to do as far as this, because obviously you're very right in saying video conferencing is one of the threats which is emerging very fast. We have to counter this by some of the measures which are already existing there. Only thing is, what we do is, in case I had to give this sort of a session there, I just send a one link to everyone, and I permit they can share this link with 100 people. And then in this process, 100 more people can log into there. Maybe you got a restriction, okay, there can be 100 people. But if 100 unauthorized people entered into a room, so that's why once we have to plan up this session, depending upon the criticality of the session or the video conference, we have to decide what sort of security measures we have to build up for that particular there. Most of this video conferencing portals which are there, sites which are there, they got all these features. Only thing is we are not using them. Right? I hope that answered your question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I got good insights into it. So thank you so much for the
So thank
answer.
you. Maybe somebody else who would like to have some other questions there. Because in case you discuss, only then the things will be more clear to you. Yes, participants. Maybe somebody from is participant from Muscat.
Dear participants, it's my humble request to all of you to please respond to the questions being asked by the speaker. If you will not ask questions, then there's no point of, you'll not gain much. The more you will ask questions, the more you will learn the things. So it's my humble request to all of you to please participate.
Yes, or otherwise I'll start asking you questions. Because these are the two ways. Can somebody answer me what is the shared ownership issue? Yes, what is the shared ownership?
It's regarding the income and expense allocation. That is how the income and expense allocation can be done among the co-owners. It must be fair. It must be done very fairly.
No, in case of a threat, because we are talking about in terms of a threats. A shared ownership threat is in case, let's say, I'll give you the example. In case there are a picture which I clicked where 10 people are there, everyone posts that picture. Now I have kept my security to a very good ones. Nobody can steal that picture from my account. But in case there are other fellow who has kept very weak security as far as systems are concerned, maybe then picture can be stolen from the somebody else system there. So this is a real threat. My picture, where 10 people have clicked in that, can be a threat in this sort of environment there. I hope that clarifies the thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Then what is the manipulation of this multimedia content? Somebody can tell me. Yes, what sort of manipulation which can be done on the multimedia content? Because why we are so concerned about this, not about the text. Yes, somebody can unmute and tell me.
Sir, sometimes what happens is whatever the multimedia content we are posting, somebody might
Can you
view
introduce
it and they
yourself
will get.
first? You're from which place?
I'm from Hyderabad, sir. My name is
You're
Chavala
from
Mutyalram.
Hyderabad. That's great.
Yeah.
Hanji.
So what happens is, sir, whenever we deliver video lectures or when we keep any multimedia content in our websites, somebody they might view it and later they will change some content of it.
Yes,
They
that
will
can be the
manipulate.
one. Okay, in case some video you have recorded and put it upon somewhere, somebody can delete, somebody can cut some portion of that. That's a threat for me. Because I never thought of okay, I'll do this manipulation, but this has been done. That's good. Any other manipulation which can be done?
So this is Dr. Ramesh Kumar from Telangana.
Hanji, Dr. Ramesh.
Sir, even morphing, that is also has to be done
Yes,
in multimedia
that is
content.
the biggest
Image
threat.
has been, yeah.
Somebody can morph your picture.
Yes, sir.
You have got a picture, somebody may cut and paste it somewhere else. This sort of editor, this sort of things.
Yes, sir.
because somebody can morph your picture, and there are editors available through which one can do it. And one issue which is there in this sort of a video and the audio is, oh sorry, video, audio and the picture is, we are not able to have any encryption upon that, because the size of this is so large, encryption may be so process consuming, we don't do it. So that's why in case picture is there, somebody can cut the neck and put some other picture there and join them. So this is what the issue which is there in this sort of a scenario there. That's why in case of a SNS security threat, multimedia content threat is very high. Why it's high? Because most of the people who work on a multimedia, social networks, they post a lot of things. There are very few who are posting this text messages there, but if you look at, there can be so many pictures, so many videos which come in the morning. Because let's say you're watching your WhatsApp in the morning. If you see your group, there will be 20 pictures and there will be 1 or 2 messages there. So that means that is somebody has done this analysis. Okay, the amount of cut and paste and forwarding which is being done on the multimedia, this WhatsApp, the percentage is very high as far as the video, audio and the pictures are concerned. So that means our biggest threat is our multimedia only. Anything else somebody will be able to ask? Okay, we can go ahead.
Sir, you are not audible. Please unmute your mic.
Now it's fine?
Yes, sir, it is fine. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. So that's what we were talking about. Security threat in SNS is your multimedia content threat is the biggest one. Because people are cautious once they're typing out something, but they're not aware once they're posting their multimedia data, and that also gives a lot of sensitive information as far as the person is concerned. Now let's say you post your pictures of the home and you're giving the address, then user gets to know what you kept at what place. That can be a threat for you. Or most of you must be posting your status. Let's say because this is one of the biggest threat which is there. You post your status enjoying at Shimla. Your status on the WhatsApp or your another media which is there on a social Facebook or Twitter, or you say just give this message enjoying in Shimla today. Is it your friends are watching this message? Maybe not. Your picture where you're enjoying at Shimla would be seen by a lot of people. There will be some attacker who comes your home because they know you're in Shimla, and in Chandigarh you will take 4 hours to reach. So in this process, they go your home, take away things. So how this thing is happening? Because it's basically based on social media only. The moment I post my pictures, yeah, I'm enjoying in Shimla, you change your status accordingly, you're generating a threat for yourself. That means he or she is not at home, that the home is open for the intruders there. Then your whatever photos you're uploaded, there can be misuse also. Because what our privacy law says or our legal thing says, in case there is any picture which is being used without permission, is violating your privacy. But I hope some of you must know this, that in India we don't have got privacy laws. The attempt has been made to build up this privacy law long number of a time, but we are not successful. Whereas in US and other places, this sort of a privacy laws are there. That means in case somebody takes away your picture without your permission, still there is no legal remedy for that. Okay, how to prove that your picture, he's taken away your picture? So this is what we say the multimedia content threats which are. Then I did talk to you about the shared ownership. Okay, in case two friends take a photo at an event, both of them load that. One of them may be having a very good privacy setting, other may not be having. But does he take permission to load this picture in this sort of a settings there? Then we did talk about the manipulation of the multimedia contents there. Okay, SNS provide a platform to the user where they can share a lot of multimedia data. This data may be malleable and distorted by the untrustworthy users. Somebody may take over your head, put some other body there, and expose you for this. Because there are tools available to distort multimedia data there. Now then there is the issue of the steganography. Okay, all your malicious activities can be covered up with some other activities there. So that can be done using this sort of a steganography there. Now then we got an issue of metadata. Okay, there are a type of data that contains and delivers information about the other data. Because in case I have got my data, that can have my ID, my location, every information is available there. Somebody can expose me for this. Now, let's say in case you on your mobile, you got a GPS. You're using the GPS. This GPS information is being used by your Google Maps. But in this process, somebody else may also misuse that information. That means from this GPS, I can find out where you are. So very dangerous, very dicey. In case from my GPS information, somebody gives the, okay, this fellow is at this particular place at this particular moment there. Or somebody may give your information about a religion, your political beliefs, medical condition, and all this information, which is private to you. Your religion is private to me. I don't want to share and with anyone my political beliefs. or my medical condition. But yes, with this particular multimedia content thread, this is also exposed there. Now then there are links there for the multimedia. What I do is, instead of sending the picture to someone, I send the link. Okay, let's say I have put all my pictures in the Google Drive. For somebody to access that particular pictures, I send this information to him. Okay, there can be legitimate users who may be having this link. There may be some illegitimate user who may also get this link. And on this link, they load some malicious content. So that can be there in this sort of a shared link to the multimedia content. And there are static content, as I said. Okay, based on your static content only. Okay, in case I got a static link with a group of people only, and every group or fellow has got access to that picture, that link itself can be misused. So that's another issue as far as static link is concerned. So both the shared link and static link are the issues as far as the multimedia threats are concerned. Then this transparency of the data centers, that's another issue. Okay, since whole of this data which we are storing in the data center. And data center is not in my control, or cloud is not in my control. If the data which is being stored is not an encrypted data, or there is no policy of deletion of a data there, and another, whatever data I am storing, that can be viewed by the service provider there. Maybe just like LinkedIn or Facebook, they got their own personal data centers, but there may be some others who may not be having their own data center there. They are using it for the other purposes from someone there. That means what we say, third-party storage, maybe cloud-based storage. Because in case they are to decrease the cost, they will decrease this sort of a security there, and which becomes a security threat for you only. So this is what we say as far as the data center is concerned, how to protect data where you don't have a control there. Now I was talking to you about the video conferencing. Somebody may intercept the broadcast video stream. Okay, whatever is the communication architecture which is there, somebody can exploit this sort of a thing there. Now, I can tag some of the pictures also. That's another thing. I like the picture. I put up some tags there. But obviously, this sort of a tagging issue leads to some sort of a privacy issue there for the end user there. Then there can be issue of the unauthorized data disclosure. Okay, in case a user share a picture, and he, let's say I share the picture in a group. That means every group member can download that particular picture and re-upload it. That's a very risky affair. I load my picture for 100 people, but one of them was malicious. He downloaded that particular picture, uploaded it with his own privacy settings there. So that means my privacy setting are being superseded by the somebody else privacy setting there, which can result in threat for me. And in this process, I try to share picture with 10 people. And in this process, my picture gets shared with a lot of other people there. Then obviously there are traditional threats there, which we say the phishing, malware, because somebody might have talked to you about this. So all these threats which are there in this particular case are there in the other environment also. Maybe in social, whatever threat, phishing, malware, and other threats which we think about in the our own network are there in the social networks also. Maybe somebody creates a fake identity for you. This is not this. Earlier it used to be for the banking, it was the issue. Now it is for the social media also there. Somebody may create your fake Facebook account. Get to your friends. Start exploiting them. So that is also our biggest threat which is there. Okay, in case we call a cyber attack, we call it. Okay, there are fake profiles which have been created in this sort of issues there, and somebody can spam it also. Okay, somebody can send a message on your group, I need money. They send it to bulk people. Maybe even if 2 people give the money, his objective has been attained. Whereas in the earlier case, we do this spamming using the emails, but in this sort of social media, the spamming is much more faster there. Now then, this issue of the click jacking. Where are you clicking? Are the issue with there cursor jacking or a link jacking? These are some of the things which are happening in case of Facebook or in case of LinkedIn there. Then we got a de-anonymization attack. This is what I talked to you. Okay, somebody may, whatever data you anonymize, he may de-anonymize data and misuses that particular data there. Then there is inference attack, which is the traditional attack there. Okay, based on some of the information which is available, I draw some inference. Let's say I collected your financial data there. Then I got to know you're a very rich fellow. If you're a rich fellow, some criminal may look for a ransom for you. That's the ransom attack. By how he is able to do it, he could draw a profile of yours from different sources and infer it and exploit it. That's what we see the data mining technique. Through this data mining technique, because why this data mining technique is very prevalent on SNSs, because there are a lot of data available. And once I start mining it, I'll get a lot of relationships there. Then another attack is a profile cloning attack. A attacker clones the profile of a user there, or he just creates a new clone profile there, and then he can misuse it for all purposes there. Maybe we got a cyber bullying there, cyber grooming there. That's another type of attack which is there. I start building my confidence with someone which is adolescent there, of a vulnerable age. I start building up this sort of a thing there. Maybe some predicator is there. That sort of attack is possible using this sort of multimedia. Because with the multimedia, I can have my friends and chat rooms there. There I can chat and go do this. And then we got a corporate epsilon there. Maybe on your social engineering attacks are possible in case of a corporate there. Somebody can gather information about employees, position, email address, full address, and start socializing him. In this process, he can infiltrate into the organization. This is what is being done in the defense networks very fast. Somebody tries to befriend you, and in this process, they infiltrated into the defense deals there. They can infiltrate into the organization network there. This is what we say is another type of attack which is possible. Then another attack is a social threat is cyber stalking. Okay, you can be the just hello. कभी हम मीटिंग के बाद में बात करेंगे जरा कोई काम नहीं हो गया तुम्हारा काम
Sir, you are on mute. Please unmute yourself. Thank you. Hello, sir, you are on mute. Sanjeev sir, am I audible to you?
No, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine now. Thank you, sir.
Yes, these are some of the solutions which are there as far as the security. Yeah, these are some of the solutions which are there: watermarking, co-ownership, Stegno analysis, digital obedience, storage encryption. So these are some of the security solutions, spammer for detection, which is there. So all this is available. Only thing is we are not using them. Maybe I'll leave this particular presentation to you. You can go through because all this is nothing but cyber defense, phishing detection, commercial solutions. They're all available. Only thing is you have to know okay, these are solutions are existing as far as the SNS security solutions are there. Okay, you can find out whether there is a watermarking which has been done. Now then co-ownership models they have to be there. So that in case I load some video and a picture, I made some co-owners there. They should have also have got the same security setup there. Then there are certain stack analysis tools which are there. Okay, is there on the background some other data has been kept? So then we have to think about this sort of a stack analysis tools there. Now then digital oblivion is there. What we say is, okay, in case let's say I kept a data, I kept it okay, and this is for a week or so. Then afterwards, nobody is able to access this particular data there. Then you have to think about some storage encryption. Can I just encrypt all the data which is available there? Then you can, there are tools through which you can do metadata, you can remove and security. You can detect the malware because these are all the research areas which are there. Malware detection itself is a big research area which is there. Fake profile detection itself is a big area there. Maybe fake news these days is another area which is emerging very fast. How do I detect whether the news is fake or a genuine news? On social media, there are so many news which are coming. How do I find out whether it's a fake news or a actual news there? On a fake profile, there are tools through which I can detect the fake profiles also. And phishing detection, there are tools available through which I can detect whether it's a phishing or not. There are commercial solutions for this available, which has been provided by various companies are providing this sort of a solution there. This is what we say is the security responsive from the social network users there. one of the guidelines is do not get personal and share too much. We usually say there's a security hygiene which is there. Don't share your mobile number on your social media networks there, but still we do it. So that's what we say. Do not get personal. Do not, in case you don't know someone, don't become personal to him. And muscle up your privacy settings. This is what we require. Okay, in case you are using any WhatsApp, Facebook, and anything, you have to think what sort of privacy settings are required. You do it. Now, in case you are in the corporate world, you have to know what is the company politics, policies, and the boundaries which are there. And we vary of the links of the third-party application. Okay, there may be third party. There may be so many links which are there. Take care of that. Limit the location disclosure as far as possible. In case you have got a GPS on, then try to see your locations are not being shared, because these days it asks whether you would like your location to be shared. Just say don't allow, and be aware of the impersonators. Okay, in case on your social media somebody is impersonating you, you try to defend yourself. Then authentication, you have to ensure it. You have to ensure that there should be very strong authentication as far as systems are concerned, and use separate passwords. This is biggest hygiene which is there. Okay, as far as any system are concerned, you have to use with strong password there, and use there's a generic use powerful antivirus and the security tools which are available there. So this is what I thought we'll share with you. There are few case studies which I got. Okay, this is one of the tools which people misuse. Okay, they give you a color changer there. Okay, with the color changer, there's a tool which is being misused. There's no color changer as such for the Facebook. But they say, okay, I would like to change your color of the Facebook. You say, it's a boring blue profile. Let me change the color. But in this change of a color there, they put up some of the information which they steal. Okay, they say, okay, do you want change of the color of your friends also? The moment you say yes, in this process, they take away your friend list also. So that is what of the issue which is there as far as these devices are concerned. How to avoid? Don't go for this profile coloring there, because this is a third party notification which you are having. The moment you start following it, you may lose your data in this particular process there. This is what appear on a Facebook. Change your Facebook color. But in this particular, the moment you click in the guise of a change of a color, your information is lost. And the moment somebody says, you do want to change the color of a friends also, you say yes, your friend list also become accessible to him. So this is what you have to be very careful. Then there is another, who viewed your profile. That's also very dicey thing. The moment you say you go to this in the Facebook, who viewed your profile, in this particular process is a spam where it becomes an invite for others. So you can avoid this by going through this sort of a hygiene there. Okay, in case there is suspicious link, don't click. In case there is suspicious message, don't click. Add. So all these are the tempting ones. Don't get into this particular fray there. So then there is outrageous and shocking. There's some news which comes over there. Let's say this fish, it shows. You click there, it will give you a shark eats a teenage girl in the ocean. You feel shocked, but you try to click. But in this particular process, They actually take random surveys there, and there can be some fake websites there to take your personal information there, and in this process they harm you. So in case you don't know some of this particular third party things there, don't click on this. Before clicking, you must know from where this thing is coming, or don't click at all. That way you can save your things there. And this is the biggest racket which was there. Twitter instant followers. Somebody says, you want a followers? Follow me. I'll get you hundreds of the followers. You copy the link, your whole account goes as a vulnerable there. Then Instagram also promises free likes and the followers. Free likes. This is one example, which is a fake one. Maybe if you're ticked by this spam, change your password and delete the app. Because these days there is a craze. I would like to have likes, but this idea of having good likes there is one which is creating issues for you. Then pin test, bogus pin. This is another pin it. You say pin it, in this process all your data will go. Now these are some of the social media security best practices checklist. Now, in case of a corporate thing, continuously monitor corporate social media accounts for cyber threats there. Now you have to block some of the URLs. Now you have to test your implies whether it's susceptible to social media attacks or not. How do we do it? Give him something free. In case he accepts it, that means he's prone to this sort of attacks. And train your employees on a safe usage. This is what's required, best practices, and what to do in the event of attack. Let's say, God forbid, in case you're attacked, how to protect yourself, how to protect your group is what is most important there. So this is how I conclude. So SNS as such is a desired media of communication. Maybe there are billions of people who are using it. And these are services which are there. But you have to just try to limit your limitations. Because otherwise, it's not that you get into some sort of a cyber attack. There can be somebody else who puts into this sort of a cyber attacks there. So there is a compelling need to continuously and iteratively review security issues on the social networks, and your technical advancement has to be there in this sort of a thing there. That's how I conclude this. Maybe I'm open for the questions now. Yes, any
Right,
question you got?
Thank you so much, sir. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask sir questions, and sir is here to address them as well.
If there is no questions, maybe already my things has been recorded. Any other fellow who would like to listen to this, most welcome to listen to this. Maybe as Dilpreet was saying, okay, this particular lecture they would like to load it on the YouTube also. I'll happy that this session will be there on the YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Anything else you would like to say?
All right, sir. Thank you so much for showing your presence for the session. It was a very amazing session by you, sir. Being from a non-security background, I felt that there is a need for everyone to go through the major aspects of security, and everyone should consider it, whether it is with respect to social media, whether it is with respect to online world, so on and so forth. So I, as a person, I would like to say on everyone's behalf that we got to know about a lot of things from your insightful knowledge, and on behalf of everyone, we would love to have sessions like these from you in the upcoming time. And thank you so much for your valuable time. And I wish you all the good health in the future. And thank you so much once again for showing
Thank
up.
you so much. In case, even if I can enthuse you as a single individual for this particular area, my task has been completed. Thank you very much.
All
It's
right,
my
sir. Thanks so much.
okay. Bye.